I wanted to at least drop 5 kilos and feel better about my body. Yeah, I wanted to, I'd been struggling with body pain for about 2 years. I had started to reduce it, but it wasn't, and I was having running injuries because of the body pain. So I was increasing my running, but probably carrying too much body fat while I was running.
We're now, correct me if I'm wrong, we're sort of like 3 weeks now after you stopped. So we're now early January, and we stopped basically the week of Christmas. That was our,
Correct.
We did 8 weeks, didn't we?
Correct, yep.
Yeah, it was sort of like an 8-week special thing for Christmas. So we're now 3 weeks after that. So can you share, where are you now and where were you when we finished, and has anything gone backwards, forwards? Is it all the same?
So I'm now at my first goal weight. So, and over the Christmas time, I put on about 500 grams, but I think like I'm due to weigh again, and I'm pretty sure I've got that off in the last 4 days. What you had committed to when we first talked, we achieved easily. And then I had the extra goal that I wanted to achieve. So now I'm at the, now I'm setting new goals because that seemed too easy.
We sort of set some goals when we started, and I think I committed to you we would lose X kilos, and
yes.
And you were like, yeah, that'd be good. And I said, yeah, we'll definitely get to there, whatever that number is, right? And then we said, here's a bit of a stretch goal that if we can get here, you'd feel absolutely outstanding. Is that sort of, that's, so what you're saying is,
and we went to stretch goal.
Yeah, we hit the stretch goal in 8 weeks. We hit the basic, Andre, refund you your money goal within probably 5 to 6 weeks, I think.
Yeah, 5 weeks, 5 weeks. And it is easily sustainable. There's no doubt. And people don't even notice that you're not eating the way they do. And I've been out to a lot of restaurants over the break as well with friends, and they will adapt. You can remove the potatoes, the chips, and you don't miss them, but you say to them, and I've actually got to I don't say why I want it removed, because then they won't say no, because they don't know if you're allergic to it. They have no, and they don't need to know why you want it removed. But I just say none on my plate. And then everywhere I've gone, they'll double up the salad. Like all of a sudden you've got this plate full of salad, or you can order a side of steamed veggies, or they replace the chips with steamed. Like everywhere is very accommodating and almost over the top about trying to ensure that they still meet what they obviously want to deliver on their plate. All my friends, I think they're sort of envious that they aren't in a mindset that they're ready to do that they're still in wanting the chips on their plate. But what I have noticed is maybe they don't finish all the chips on their plate, because it makes them think, like they're looking at you, they can see how happy you are, how well you feel, how energized, and they're looking at their own plate going, well, maybe I don't need all of it. And I'm more energized because I don't hurt. So like, you're getting more done in a day, and you're happier to get up and get moving, and you're not interested in taking a rest break, and you break some of those habits where you might just sit down to have another coffee, and you don't need another coffee, but it was a way of taking a break. Actually, the other thing that happened that I hadn't realized would be an impact is the mental acuteness. Like you're actually thinking clearer, your memory works better, you're holding on to things.
What's the one biggest thing you learnt from us working together?
It's actually really easy to eat well, and eat to fuel your body and your mind and life. Really easy to do.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, that would be my big takeaway, is that this has been the easiest thing I've ever done for me and for my body and my energy and life. Yeah, and it's sustainable. I was making dinner last night, and Andre, you were in my head. It's like, just rest the meat and throw the veggies in, and it's done.
So last sort of question is, if someone was thinking about doing this themselves, but they were like worried about making the change, or, was it worth the money, or could they make this sustainable? What would your message be to other women or men who had been struggling, maybe, who were either just wanting to lose a few kilos, or someone that was, larger, that had been carrying a lot of extra weight? What would your sort of one message be to them from you?
Invest in yourself and get a coach. Get someone that's done the research, because one of the things that we are, as society is time poor, and we think we know things and maybe we haven't had the full research time, and people need to invest in themselves. And it's not an expensive process with the outcomes that you get at the end. So I would tell them 100%, get someone to support you, get someone that you know and trust and has done the research. Because an expert, you know, we don't go and do the mechanics on our own car. We could probably learn about it, but seriously, there's nothing wrong with investing in yourself, and it's time that people did that. They spend money on their kids, they spend money on material items, but they forget they need to invest in themselves, or they're not going to be here long term. So I have been saying that for a while, and even more so since I did it. You know, I decided I needed to invest in myself. I had got a certain amount of knowledge to a point. I understood, and having seen your testimonials and looking and and I had watched you for a while. So they need to make sure that they, you know, choose the right person and make sure they've done their homework. And I did that. You know, I did my homework and I knew you were the right person, and that you had done the research, so I could trust what you were doing. So when they invest, invest in, like for me, one of the key things also was that we could do this like we are now, you know, via, at a time that mutually suited us, over the internet, on conference calls, because you want to remove barriers. Like, people put barriers up for themselves. Oh, I'm not going to lose, you know, I don't have time. Well, we all have time. And just find the time that suits. And that was the key for me, was seeing that you would do things remotely as well. And that made a big difference. And that's why I'm saying invest in themselves and find something that fits for them.